Hi, Claudia here from Create with Claudia, and today I'm going to show you how to take apart a pair of blue jeans to use in a quilt like the one behind me, or a craft of some sort. It's pretty easy to do, but it does take a little bit of patience and time, so I'm going to take you through it step by step. And I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all of my latest releases. And I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Create with Claudia, where I post daily pictures of projects I'm working on, sneak peeks of patterns coming up, all sorts of things. So thanks so much for watching and enjoy the video. Alright, here are the blue jeans we're going to be taking apart. And you're only going to need two things for them. Well, three. You're going to need the blue jeans, and you're going to need a good seam ripper, a nice heavy-duty seam ripper. And lastly, you're going to need a good pair of scissors, nice heavy-duty scissors that'll cut through that denim. You can use your really fine fabric scissors, but I wouldn't do that because denim has a tendency to dull blades if you use them a lot. So just this pair of simple scissors works just fine. So let's get started. I always start with the pocket because it's the hardest part, at least for me it is, and I like getting those done and out of the way. So I start at one corner and I just start picking away at those seams. There's usually two, it's like a double seam. The hardest part you're going to find is this right in here where it's attached at the corners to the back of the fabric. And it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of elbow grease, but you're going to just keep picking at those seams and eventually it will come apart and you're just going to work your way around and take off the whole pocket. Just watch your fingers when you're doing this. This seam ripper, it can be pretty sharp and you don't want to poke a hole through your finger. It's not fun. Okay. Whew. This is the hardest part, are those pockets. Lots of little threads to get rid of. But there's your pocket, and it can be used for all kinds of fun little projects on a quilt or on some crafts of some sort. Set those aside. I've seen some really interesting projects on Pinterest with pockets, and so I have a whole stack of pockets from various parts of jeans. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the belt loop. That's, to me, the second hardest thing to do. Not quite as hard as the pocket because it's a lot smaller. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick out the ends of that seam, and you might have to work it a little bit. Like this one I know is up into the waistband a little bit, so we're going to have to work on that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to remove that one. I've already done the other ones, but we'll show you this one. All right, whew. That was a tough one because it went up underneath the waistband like that, but there's your belt loop. Now I wouldn't throw that away. There are lots of projects out, not lots, but I've seen a number of projects that use these seams like this, the belt loop, and you'll see I keep all the pieces. You never know when they come in handy. I have a big drawer of all kinds of jean pieces. I haven't used them yet, but hopefully one day I will. All right, so that's the two toughest parts. So now we're going to start on taking off the waistband. That's the next thing I do. So you're going to need your scissors, and basically you're going to cut right here below that seam. You want to get that nice, keep that waistband intact, and just right above where that zipper is. And that way you have a nice full waistband that you can use for something. Okay, so here's the waistband. I have seen this actually used for like purse handles and things. It's nice. It's a double-sided. You got 2 layers of fabric, and you have the seams on both the top and the bottom. So that's a nice tough piece of denim that you can use in a different project. And then the next part we're going to do, we're just going to keep working away at these seams at the top of the jeans. There's this little part in the back of most jeans, maybe not all of them, but on this pair I have them, and on another pair that I did the other day I have them. And I don't know, actually, I'm not a seamstress, so I don't know what that's called. Maybe it's the yoke, I'm not sure, but it's this little part right at this seam, and you're going to cut below that seam because you want to, I'll show you in a minute, but you're going to want to have this piece of fabric cut apart, and then you can have this nice long seam for something else. So basically you're going to find out where that starts right here, and you're going to cut below the seam as close as possible to the seam and get rid of that one piece. All right, so we have this piece here, and now we're just going to cut along the top of this seam and get rid of that seam, and we're going to split this in half so you get 2 nice little pieces. Keep that if you want. All right, so you did get a little bit, and you never know, whatever size project you're doing, you might use a little piece of denim like that, and then 2 more nice long seams. So after that's done, you're going to cut away these pockets. Now these are dummy pockets, these are fake pockets. Some jeans have regular pockets, and if that was the case, you would even want to cut off this little pocket here that's in the front of a lot of jeans. This again is a fake one. And I learned something new when I was researching this article or this video. Originally these were for pocket watches. I did not know that. So there's a little interesting trivia fact for you. But anyway, we're going to cut right below that seam and get rid of that pocket area. Now, some jeans have the lining in the pocket, you know, so that you can actually use the pocket. These did not, and you can just cut that lining off and discard it if you want, or you can keep it too if you really want to. There's some little pieces here I'm just trimming away. So now you have these 2 little pocket pieces. You can keep them or throw them away, whatever you want to do. And then the next thing we're going to do is cut out the zipper. And you're just going to take your scissors and again just go right along that seam. I'm cutting as close to the seams as possible because I want to have as much fabric as I can to use for my quilt or my craft. I love these big long pieces of flat fabric. That's what I'm looking for, is the more fabric the better. So we're going to take our scissors and cut around in sort of a U shape and cut out that zipper. Okay, here's another piece, the zipper that you could use. It might be an interesting addition to a project you're working on. And now comes the easiest part, and that is splitting these jeans up and really getting this fabric out of here. So the first thing we're going to do, and it's actually, I don't know why, for some reason it tells me that I'm on the tail end of this project, is cutting off the hems. So I really like doing the cutting off the hems. So we're going to go ahead and cut those both off, and you're just going to trim little clip, the snip there, and then just work your way around. Okay, here are the hems, those two. And we'll set those aside, and now you're ready to split the jeans in half. So this is what they're going to look like. And the first thing you're going to do is take your scissors, and you're just going to cut below the zipper all the way around to the back side, up along one of those seams to split the jeans in half. Alright, so now you have two long tubes, basically the legs, that's what all you have left. And you're going to split those, but first, I forgot, you're going to cut off this seam as well. This is that center seam again, you're going to cut down the other side to get rid of that. Alright, there's that piece. And now we're ready to split the legs. And this is the easiest part. Basically, you're just going to cut along one side of the seam, and that's going to butterfly it open to one large piece of fabric, and then you're going to cut across, get rid of this one seam, and then you're going to flip it over, because there are always the two seams in each leg, and get rid of that seam. So you're going to end up, this one leg is going to make two pieces of fabric. So here it is open. And now we're going to just get rid of this part here. Then we're going to split it again down here and get rid of that seam as well. Okay, so out of that one pant leg, you're going to get these two nice long seams, and then you get two nice big pieces of fabric that you can cut down and use in whatever project you want. And those are nice big areas. Some areas are bigger than other. And of course, I will say this, depending on the size of the jeans, the bigger they are, of course, the more fabric you get out of them. Sadly, I get a lot of fabric out of my jeans, but it all depends on the size of jeans you get. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other leg, and then I'll show you what all we get out of one pair of jeans. All right, we are done. So out of that one pair of jeans, you're going to get 4 nice long pieces of denim, nice flat denim to be used for a quilt or something. All right, so there's the 4 pieces of that. You're going to get a lot of seams, long and short, to be used. You can use that in all kinds of projects. There's some beautiful artwork out there with denim. Here's some more. You're going to get the zipper, 2 little pieces of denim, some more seams, those belt loops. There's that nice waistband that could be used for a purse handle or something. And you're going to get your pockets. And there you go. So out of one pair of jeans, I got all this fabric, and I'm ready to use it in a quilt or a craft project. I hope this video has helped you out. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.